Let's get ready for another Maps review. Today we are looking into Maps Prime Pro. Hello and welcome to another review. We will immediately dive right into Maps Prime Pro and compare it a bit to Maps Prime. The main difference, I would say, between Maps Prime and Maps Prime Pro is that Maps Prime Pro is a lot more in-depth than Maps Prime, and you definitely would, you can pick both of them. Maps Prime mainly makes it really easy with the 3-zone test to see where you might have a couple of movement issues and guide you from there and use it to get ready right before your workout to get the most out of it. And Maps Prime Pro is, as I said, more in depth, and you would use it not primarily to get ready for a workout, but to assess where you might have movement issues and then work on them throughout the week alongside your actual training program. So it's more an addition than something that you just do right before it. So how does it work? Maps Prime Pro again comes with a compass, just like Maps Prime does. Here you don't have 3 zones, but as I said, because it's more in depth, you have a total of 7 zones. You will go through a zone assessing your neck, your shoulder, scapula, your wrist, your lumbar spine, your hip, your ankle, and your toes. For each of these assessments, you will have coaching videos. They will guide you through everything and tell you what to look for and where to pay attention. It's really well done, very easy. Just like you saw it with the Maps Prime compass test, you have a pass or a fail. So there's not much wiggle room to know, did I pass or not. It's you either made it or you didn't. When in doubt, I again would suggest, like in the 3-zone compass test in Maps Prime, that you just give yourself a fail and just work a bit on it. If it's really just a little bit borderline, you will pass the test in a few weeks, so nothing to lose, but a lot to gain. You will get also a blueprint in which everything, all the key points for each zone test are laid out and what to look for. So even if you wouldn't have access to the videos because you're offline somehow, you could have this and still go through it. But the videos help a lot, so I really recommend to carefully watch the videos before you do the zone tests and use them while you're doing them. There's one test for each zone, and you basically go through everything. Once you have done this, you have a next step of repatterning movements. They will help you to let's say reconnect to the zones that you failed. Those are movements that train your CNS and your muscles to actually start doing what they are supposed to do. Maybe you have lost kind of the connection there, like many people have with their toes. They cannot move them separately or spread them, which is probably a test all of us will fail, with very few exceptions. It's a very hard one, mainly because of wearing modern shoes all day long. So you will get a couple of exercises that you can do to actually reconnect to your body part there. There are again videos for this with coaching tips, so you're never alone on this journey. It's the guys from Mind Pump and Dr. Justin Brink. They worked on this together. He's a chiro and physiotherapist, and seems like a really cool guy. So the four of them really help you to get through all of this. Once you did the repatterning movements, you also have a couple of control movements. These control movements work in conjunction with the repatterning movements, and the main idea of them is to really enhance or accelerate the whole repatterning movement process. So they will teach your body, your CNS, but also you as a whole person, that you can use your body again properly through a full range of motion while feeling actually stable and in control. This feeling of being in control through the complete range of motion is really, really important, because this tells your body that you are actually safe in this position, and only if your body feels safe in a position you can actually start loading it later on with weight, let's say in a squat or something. So it's these small things that later on add up to you being actually better in the gym or better in everyday life movements. So really use these control movements that are assigned to each zone, because they will help you getting better, and that's the whole thing why you probably will do Maps Prime Pro in the first place, because it's not a training program, it's really a program that teaches you to move better again. A few ideas of control movements are given for each zone, like 90-90s or tension squats, or prone cobras maybe, or combat base position for the ankles. So you're not doing this again, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There is a clear blueprint, and that tells you what to do, what to look for, and how to make sure that you're actually doing it correct. You have plenty of videos for all of this. So again, I can emphasize that this is really, really helpful. I liked it a lot. I need to run all the zone tests and see if I actually got better. And there is, I already can tell you now that I will again fail the toe zone test, but I'm pretty sure that at least my hips and my scapular zone test should be a lot better, and I hope I will pass it now. So yeah, it's no shame to not pass at the first try. It would be a shame if you get the program and not work through everything, that because it's going to help you. You, as I said, you have the movements, and once you did all the zone tests and went through everything, you get a bit of a guide how to design your, let's say, zone training, how a session could look like. Again, it's up to you what to do, but you get a few ideas from the program. So in each session for the relevant zone that you have failed, you will have one repatterning movement, one tension control movement, and one active control movement. You will choose them from the training template, from the videos. Pick the ones that you, at first I would say, pick the ones that where you felt that you think might actually do, even though it might not be the best ones for the particular zone. It's better that you actually pick a few that you feel like doing, and then later on you can progress and actually fight through the ones that are a pain and will help you. So yeah, that would be my tip. It's really better to do something than to be pushed away from movements because you think you fail. And it wouldn't be a shame. It takes time, it takes practice and awareness. One of the probably positive things about a program like Maps Prime Pro is that it's nothing that you will do to show off mainly. So chances are you will do this at home on your own. No one's going to see you, and you're not going to record this, you're not going to put this on YouTube or Instagram, so nobody's going to see it, and this should reduce the fear threshold tremendously. It's just for you and getting better, getting healthier, potentially getting pain-free or reducing pain problems that you might have. So work through it, it's going to help, I'm pretty sure of that. So you might, as I said, you have then for each zone three different movements. You can work on up to 7 zones. Let's say you failed all of them, and just do one movement out of each, let's say category. So repatterning movement, tension control movement, and active control movement. And each session should take somewhere between 1 to 10 minutes. So of course, if you failed a few more, it's probably going to take a bit longer. If you failed all of them, I personally wouldn't do all of them in one go unless you have more than 10 minutes. Let's say you have a lazy Sunday and then you just work through all of them. Otherwise, I would just say you pick a few and do your thing through each zone, and the next day you do different ones, and maybe you failed all 7 of them, so you do through 3 one day, and the next day you do 4, and like an A and B template basically. Ideally, you do this really every day. You might even do it a few times a day if you have a little bit more time, or if you need just to work more on it. It's not a tough exercise, but really it takes time for your body to reconnect with everything, and practice really helps. Just telling your body, showing your body, hey, I'm going to actually use internal or external hip rotation, or I want to spread my toes again, even though I haven't done this in 50 years, who knows. There is a really long coaching movement sheet in the blueprint, which really helps a lot. It gives you coaching points for each of the different zones, no matter what kind of movement is, the repatterning or the let's say control movements, which are the tension ones, or anything else basically. So you are really not alone here. It's a very underrated program again, because it's even less sexy and fancy than Maps Prime Pro, because you're not going to do this even before your workout. You're doing this at home, in your living room, maybe listening to a podcast, and it's really hard to sell it because as always, it takes time and to get better, and you probably won't, unless you really pay attention. It's going to hard to see how what you do in Maps Prime Pro is going to somehow influence, your squat or your overhead press, because we as human beings tend to have this special ability to overlook and forget if something isn't really an issue anymore. Let's say you have trouble with your ankles and they are in pain, and you do your movements as prescribed, and the moment it starts getting better, the moment you will be in less pain or in no pain, chances are that you are not even going to be aware, unless maybe it's in pain again, or someone asks you, hey, by the way, how are your ankles? Are they any better? And then you realize, hey, I haven't had any issue there in a couple of weeks. So it's a little harder to grasp than saying you put on 10, 15, 20 kilos to your squat, which might have happened in the same time also. Going to show you again, like as always, a bit the website. Here is MEPS Prime Pro. It's, as it says here, it's really move better, increase your performance, prevent injury and pain. That's pretty much it. You have the blueprint, as always, the money back guarantee. It costs you $167 US, which seems a lot, which is probably for many people a lot of money. My recommendation would be to definitely buy it as a bundle, or if where is the bundle? Here is the Prime Pro bundle. Buy it as a bundle with MEPS Prime and Prime Pro, buy it together. Then here again already you see it's just a little bit more expensive buying the bundle, and then you have both of them, and both of them are useful. And on top of that, every now and then they are on sale, so you might get them even cheaper. So definitely do that. No harm done there. This is Justin Brink, the guy who worked with Mind Pump together on doing this. You can look him up, pretty easy. What is my personal opinion of this? It's really, it's a very solid program. I have to admit, I personally probably don't use it as much and frequent as I should do in order to progress. I use parts of it, definitely the hip part, where I have issues. So the special 1990 versions that I do with extra internal and external hip movement focus, I do it pretty often, and they help a lot. Besides that, it's really, as I said, it's because it's not so easy to grasp. Or if you're actually making progress, it's a hard thing to actually stay with it. So you really need to map out maybe a plan and stick with it. I have to redo this for myself. Unlike MEPS Prime, where I really go through the things before doing after the workout, I really slack a bit when it comes to MEPS Prime Pro, which in my case is quite alright. I definitely don't pass all of the zones, but most of them. Still have to work a lot on my toes and a bit on my ankles. So yeah, it makes it hard. It's frustrating because it just takes time. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. You have to be diligent doing the work, doing the whole concept basically. All I can say is it's worth the money. Helped me personally a lot. Scapular and neck movements increased quite significantly. I'm quite happy about that. It's something you can use for yourself. It's something that you can use as a trainer to assess your clients, which definitely is going to help you design the training program for them, and help them actually getting better quicker. So yeah, that's definitely something you should keep in mind. Something the guys from Mind Pump suggest often in their during the podcast. So it's definitely something. I hope you guys liked this review like the other ones. Would be great if you can give me a few comments. Let me know what you thought about it and what you would like to see next. So until then, please subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Give me a like for the video, and until next time, bye.